Voilà, pour ce numéro du Grand Angle, direction
for our Grand Angle today,
That is in Cameroon, right? Et effectivement,
Bangou. Well, true, it is in Cameroon. It's a small village located in the mountains of Western Cameroon, where a large green tourism project called Vacation Villages is underway, targeting the next Africa Cup of Nations. Let us find out more in this report on our Grand Angle. Bangou, resting somewhere in Western Cameroon, is far from an attraction site place for tourists, domestic or foreign. But this could change soon. The face of the noisy small town, located in the mountain ranges, has been changing gradually for the last 2 years. In Bangou is built one of the largest tourism projects in Africa called Vacation Villages. This idea and the ambition to see it a reality came from Francis Nana, a city billionaire whose vision is still based on the development of rural areas in Cameroon, which involves sorts of migrating the modern structures of the city towards the villages. I am proud to do this because it is the very first time I have embarked on a project like it. By the way, when we talk about bungalows, we do not refer to the hotels. Here, they are in a row. Each one is in its small suite made up of everything I quoted earlier. So we are independent. We are not surrounded by our neighbors. We are more comfortable, and as you can see, that it is in the dry season. And as for rainy seasons, we have a roof over our heads, so we have no problems. We will go further to more than 49 bungalows, but for the moment, we remain at this current number, of which I'm sure will be a treasure when it is done. It is also an interesting venture as there is no pollution here. It is the idea of a peaceful getaway and a haven of tranquility that motivated Francis Nana. Artificial lakes with rare birds, castles and botanical gardens made up of exotic flowers from all over the world. No detail was left out. This garden actually spreads over 2,500 square meters. Currently, we have traditional crops and some exotic kinds that we have on site, with the likes of the grapes, from the kiwi to some Brussels sprouts and the thin rhubarb. And here we are focusing on the cultures of the country because here it is what it is mostly consumed, not to mention the crops that we have generally called condiments. Local production and employment is one of the goals of the Paris Holiday Village. Thanks to the establishment of a brick-making unit using locally available materials, hundreds of residents are employed, not to mention the indirect jobs from the development of infrastructure in the city. Before, it was really not easy with the shipyards. He launched this to help those who had no food to eat. I can know that he has a lot to offer to help the unemployed. If the objectives referred to at the end of the constructions are met, the reception and the accommodation of the teams that will participate in the 2019 Africa Cup of Nations will be a sure thing, and the first aim of the holiday village is to make Bangou the sanctuary of green tourism in Cameroon.